guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a nice video, something that I was looking to do more regularly, like just spotlight videos rather than a mixture of all different types of fragrances. I think sometimes it's nice just to focus on one that you absolutely adore or one that you absolutely love that maybe others might not know about and isn't so much spoken in the fragrance community. So today I have one from the House of Loewe, and as you guys know, I absolutely adore this house when it comes to fragrances. I genuinely think it's one of the most underrated designer houses out there for fragrances. So little people talk about Loewe, and I'm not entirely sure why. It has some incredibly unique fragrances which genuinely you won't be able to smell anywhere else. They are a little bit more on the expensive side, and to be honest, sometimes it's a bit too pricey for the amount that you get, but it's one of those things that you just have to swallow, and potentially, you know, in the future it will come down a little bit. Probably won't, but aside from that, I think, you know, this is going to be one of these spotlights which I've not felt this type of emotion and sensation from a fragrance in a very, very long time. You know, months and months and months went by where it was completely out of stock, and this was talking last year, by the way, or even before that, I can't even remember. The problem is that I think they were changing fragrance bottles. So originally it was more rounded, and I think it was about 75 ml with a black cap. Now I'll show you how it looks like. So it comes in this really gorgeous box, quite simplistic, and you know, I don't really mind that at all, as long as it, you know, protects the fragrance and, you know, stores it really well, then I don't mind. And I forgot to mention as well, this is from the Un Paseo por Madrid line. So this line has to be the best line in the fragrance world out of any of the designer exclusive brands. Genuinely, I don't think any other brand can quite beat Loewe. So I'm also going to just read for you something that was said, I think it was either on the Loewe website or Selfridges, I can't really remember, but I just took a note of this description because maybe this will give you guys a little bit more of an idea of what is the interpretation of this fragrance, how it came to light. So Loewe presents a collection of 4 new fragrances that each encapsulate the splendor of the Spanish city it calls home, Madrid. So this is where the Un Paseo por Madrid line comes into play. Situated in a bustling plaza at the beating heart of the city, the statue of Cibeles, I think that's how you pronounce it, inspires the Amanece, La Bella Cibeles Eau de Parfum, capturing the pink light that bathes the Greek goddess at dawn. How gorgeous is that? Moving on, the floral fragrance fuses iris and rose with a delicate base of musk and vanilla. And genuinely, that description perfectly represents what this fragrance is all about. It's all about the goddess, the femininity, the aura, and the pinkness of the rose. This is the perfect description for this type of fragrance. So this is how it comes. As you can see, super simplistic, just comes in this box and it's laid inside. And the bottle is entirely different now. So as you can see, it's much bigger. It comes in this really beautiful clear glass and just has, oh god, it's already stained. Oh god. You know that I'm wearing this a lot when I've already stained the label, but it just has generic textured paper label. It's nothing special. But what is super cool is right at the top, I don't know whether you can catch that, but you have the Loewe logo on the real marble sourced from Spain, by the way, lid, which is really gorgeous. Almost looks veiny in a really peculiar way, but I really like that about marble. And I genuinely feel like it just gives another level of premiumness to the overall fragrance. I know the bottle doesn't mean everything, but packaging does make, you know, quite a bit of a difference. But onto the fragrance now. Why do I adore La Belle Cibeles? Is that how you pronounce it? La Bella Cibeles from Un Paseo por Madrid. I think this has to be one of the most addictive fragrances I've ever smelled. It has such a juicy, tart beginning opening, which just blew my mind away. It's almost like they mixed bergamot with orange peel and orange blossom right in the beginning. It's quite sweet as well and has like a fizzy element to it. It's almost as if you mixed like bergamot liqueur, sparkling wine, like a white wine, maybe like a Sauvignon Blanc in the beginning. This is the only way I can describe it because it's genuinely that breathtaking that I just have to take a second sniff, a third sniff, a fourth. It really is quite special. And then in the mid of this fragrance, what I find so feminine and so gorgeous is that it has a really beautiful, almost centifolia type rose note with a mixture of a buttery iris. Guys, can you imagine this? A buttery iris mixed with a very fleshy type of rose, and then mix that with the bergamot liqueur and the orange blossom in the very beginning. You can tell how excited I am just by describing this fragrance. And right towards the end, you have a little bit more of a musky, a very soft musky vibe mixed with vanilla. That's the, I don't even know if that's in the notes, by the way, but I'm just making it up as we go along. But genuinely, that's kind of the realm, kind of the vibe that I'm smelling, that encapsulating vanillic muskiness undertone with the rose and the iris, making it super feminine but also fresh at the same time with that bergamot. This has to be one of the most overwhelmingly addictive fragrances you could possibly get. The projection is 10 out of 10. The sillage, 10 out of 10. And what I find quite unique is with it still being relatively fresh and floral, a lot of fragrances don't have a lot of lasting power, whereas this one lasts throughout the day. When you have it sprayed on your clothes, you keep sniffing them and you're like, wow, it still stayed throughout all of these hours. I tend to find when I spray this first thing, I can still smell it and it still projects even after 4 or 5, 6 hours. And you don't really get that with many fragrances nowadays. And with this being a fairly new line, I think this specific fragrance launched maybe 2022, so not that long ago, maybe a couple of years ago. And for it to have that level of quality, for it to be so unique smelling, is one in a dime of a dozen. I know it is an expensive fragrance. I know it is one that you do need to invest in terms of money, in terms of time, actually tracking it down. It took me ages to have it out of stock and for me to actually buy it. But out of 10, I would give this 10. And I don't really give 10s when it comes to fragrances. I have so many of them. And after some time, when you've smelt so many perfumes, and I know a lot of you will be able to connect with me when it comes to this, some fragrances lose their uniqueness. Genuinely, it is a trend nowadays where I don't think, even when brands are becoming super creative, it becomes overwhelming. There's too many notes going on, whereas you still have the simplicity, you still have uniqueness with this fragrance, and it's super long lasting, great projection, super good quality. As I said, I would give it a 10 out of 10. If you've not tried this fragrance before, please sample it before you buy it. Don't blind buy this off a whim. I never ever recommend this to you. Even with it being a 10 out of 10 fragrance, I would still sample it if you can. You know, maybe some of you will try it and say, well, I don't think it's super unique, or I don't think it's that great. But remember, everything is super individual. Everyone has their own tastes and fragrances. I love me a very floral, fruity, juicy, sweet type of fragrance. That is definitely my type of vibe, and maybe it's yours as well. So try La Bella Cibeles from Un Paseo por Madrid from Loewe. So guys, that's the end of this video. I thought it'd be nice and quick, wouldn't be too rambly or anything like that. Sometimes just having a little highlight of a fragrance that really deserves a bit more limelight in the fragrance community is well deserved, even if it's, you know, 6, 7, 8 minute video. I don't really mind, as long as you guys can get a sample of it, be able to try it, and hopefully it'll be one of your favorite fragrances for this year as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, comment, thumbs up below. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe down below, guys, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye guys.